What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with C. Just got an email this morning asking me my thoughts on the NHL, the combine for the draft. I don't really pay attention to it. I know last year the big story was Sam Bennett wasn't able to do a pull-up, but he played okay for Calgary in the playoffs as an 18-year-old kid. So and it's the same thing with the NFL. And I love the NFL draft probably just as much as I love the NHL draft. I love watching. I'm not as hands-on. Like, I don't go every year. I don't do NFL mock drafts. In my head, I kind of do. Where's Belichick going to trade out of? How many second and thirds can Belichick turn two first into, shit like that. But the combine, it's just okay, cool. Like, using the NFL for example, someone runs a 4.340. That's cute, but what's he do with pads on? And there are other guys chasing him down, trying to rip his head off. And I think it's the same thing with the NHL. It's awesome that someone can put up good numbers, and that's well and good. But you got to be able to deliver on the ice in a competitive nature, and physical testing really doesn't push that, if you will. Likewise, some of the questions are just ridiculous. Like, one of them asked Strom, how would your mother describe you? I'd like to assume your mother thinks highly of you. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive in that regard. And then another thing, given player situations, like, if I lose to an opponent, I cannot congratulate him, even if he's my teammate. I don't like the psychological shit. With half this stuff, half these kids is ridiculous because most of them are good kids. Now, I think the exception to that rule was last year at the draft with D'Angelo. Everyone knew he was kind of a basket case, and I think Tampa was able to kind of go, okay, this kid maybe has some good things going on up there. And again, he was a model citizen this year in the CHL, and should be a hell of a player. Was a hell of a player. He had like 2 points a game for the Greyhounds on the stretch. So, I'm not completely calling it a witch doctor, if you will, but again, it's just you're putting too much credence into something that has limited results as to determining future talent on the line. So it's great someone can do a hell of a shitload of pull-ups, but can they play in the Stanley Cup playoffs at 18 years old? Sam Bennett did. And he couldn't do a single pull-up. So, again, I think the measurables are great, but you've also got to see what they do on the ice. Obviously, the bigger picture. How do their games translate? Stuff like that. And to go back on the NFL draft, Tom Brady's measurables sucked at the NFL. There's a reason he went 199th in the draft, but it was the stuff you couldn't measure that made Brady, what he is today, and four-time Super Bowl champion, and going one for the thumb next year. So, again, there's a reason certain guys go. There's a reason there's Alexander Diggs, and there's a reason there's Pavel Datsyuk. You get a guy in the first round that doesn't amount to a damn thing, and then you get a guy in the seventh round that has the heart and intensity and hockey IQ to be great. So, again, I think it's good. I'm not completely saying that it's a wild goose chase, but I don't hold my breath looking at these numbers. Anyway, that's like episode of the Power Play with CJ and my thoughts on the NHL Scouting Combine. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the playoffs and beyond. Later, guys.